One of my TikTok customers reached out to me and sent this battery down to Ibadan for a repair. The BMS got spoiled, and after a while, he decided to bypass the BMS himself after watching few videos on YouTube, I think. So he bypassed the BMS, and now some of the cells are bad. He actually sorted some out before sending it down to me. And when it got to me, I had to do the sorting again with the voltage and then the capacitors. Some of the voltages, some of the batteries still had a good voltage on them, like 3.6 volt or thereabouts, while others were around 0.9, 0.2, 0.6, and stuff like that. So the good ones are the ones on the table, while the bad ones are the one in the black box. So here's the new connection I'll be making. The old design would not work for me because it has a lot of complications and things can easily go wrong with that kind of setup. So I decided to make this connection, and just like that, I had 13.6 volts from the 4S connection, and this will be the new design I'll be having for him. The most positive and the most negative will be on the extreme end, and the three balanced leads will be from the middle, and I'll find a way of connecting them, and then once I'm done with the connection, I'll do an upload about that. If you have cells like this at home and you have a faulty BMS, it's not a smart idea to bypass the BMS just to have an instant energy, instant access to your stored energy or stuff like that, because on the long run you would end up damaging the cells because they cannot handle over voltage, over current, overcharge, or stuff like that. These cells are one of the best cells you would ever get, and if you try the same thing with lithium ion, you probably would end up with a very large explosion and stuff like that. So my advice is that whenever this kind of stuff happen, just, if you can't afford a BMS almost immediately, just find a way of keeping them aside for a while, stop charging them, do not discharge them either, and do not try and bypass them. Definitely do not do that because it can end up in a disaster. In this case, this lithium Lipo4 did not end up in flames, but it definitely ended up in a lot of cells going bad, because as from what the man said, half of this has already been discarded before he even brought the remaining half to me, and then I still had to sort them again and remove over 30% of what was left and stuff like that. So now the last giveaway I promised was a 36 volts 2.2 kVA Sukam inverter, and the winner will be chosen this Sunday, which is tomorrow, and after which I would send it down to the person. Then a new video will be announced probably tomorrow or in the course of the week, this new week I mean. And from this point, more of what I was doing was the repetition of what I already did, which is just stacking them up in 4S and then just settling them down. I will not be completing this battery restoration in this video because it seems to be longer than I expected. I thought it would be less than 5 minutes or so, but then I ended up using over 7 minutes or thereabouts. So after I'm done with this restoration, I would use the BMS, then I would rearrange them to fit what I wanted, and then I would then decide. And with this, we've come to the end of the video for this week. I'm Taiwo from Text Plus Energy. See you in the next one. Bye.